So just to reemphasize, everything comes back to relaxing, to letting go, right? Letting go is just becoming this huge theme as far as the Taichi and what it does, and it underlines everything. Yeah, it really drives the height, the mentality, the physical side of it. So the easiest, the letting go is to relax. Yeah, it just associates with relaxing. So try to keep that in mind all the time. The tension. You look for the tension. You gotta let it go. Yeah, and then the breathing helps. So I've been talking about breathing like you're yawning, right? Using the ha sound. So the inhale has a slightly different ha sound, more like an HUH, like a. It's when you yawn, right? That. It's like almost a natural gas. It's a lower sound, and when you exhale, the HA, the ha, and both sounds will help to open up the throat. Okay, open up the throat, relax the upper body, relax the collarbone, chest area, and sink everything down to the lower dantian and the lower abdominals, the diaphragm. So inhaling, if you use then the diaphragm will expand. Right? So that's the first thing we need to do is take that breath of air and expand. And then we need to let it go. So we use the ha. The ha will, you feel it right about here as soon as you ha. And it's the diaphragm slowly pressing down, squeezing the air out, just like a weight. And the throat will open, the collarbone, chest area will relax, and that's what we want. And, we want to avoid lifting the shoulders as we breathe in and out. We just want to relax. If anything, when you breathe in, you want to feel the shoulders drop. So the shoulders drop and you feel this expansion and and then the shoulders, it feels like they're dropping again. So it can swivel. Right? You can imagine the shoulder blades swiveling attached to just one point, and they swivel, but you don't want them to rise and lift from there. And then the imagery is important. Like opening your mind to the sky, the stars, the sun, imagining that you're connecting from way above, and imagining the top of your head is open so that energy flows down through the top of your head. And as we come down, I don't talk about this enough probably, but that movement of coming down, dropping the shoulders, and then relaxing, right? Relaxing the wrist, drop your shoulders, the elbows will fall, and use your fingertips to help direct that energy to the top of your head. And I can't tell you like right in the center or right in the front, or it's somewhere between your forehead, top of your forehead, and the center. So right in between is 45 degrees, of course, but it's somewhere around there. And like a lot of things I've been talking about, you're looking for that feeling. So a full feeling, empty feeling, relaxed feeling. You're looking for a feeling where it gets real strong. And if you come down and you take just a few seconds to move your hands back and forth like this, as you relax, as your body relaxes, as your sensitivity increases, you'll find that there is a spot that it just feels stronger, a little bit more, I'll call it pressure, like something flowing down deeper, pressing. And that's where it is. That's where you line up, right? Where you feel it's strong. So add that to your mechanics where the wrist relaxes, the fingers point down, right? And then the palms start taking over, guiding the chi down through your body into the earth. And even when I come to my legs, as I flow right here, I can feel my hips starting to relax and my legs starting to press down. And that could just be the psychology of it following. But that's what happens when I do it. And so it follows the hand follows the leg, follows the energy flowing down. And try to remember the very bottom of your feet, you want it relaxed. So just that very bottom, right? You don't want to grab the ground with the bottom of your feet. You want it to relax. And in the early stages are practicing with the legs, right? Imagining they're heavy, 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 as heavy as possible sometimes, and the legs are pressing down, they're sinking into the earth. And then there's other times you have to practice where they're just resting, so we build that into the warm-up. And although we might not spend that time in the warm-up, those are lessons, individual lessons that you can break apart and isolate and just practice that. And so the warm-up and the set have so many moves and so many things to study that when something catches your eye, stop, look at that one part and just practice that one thing, right? Make it meaningful to you. Okay, so we'll begin with the legs out. Right? And I've been slowly adding more and more of these little warm-ups. So pulling the feet back and then letting go and then pressing down, stretching down. So of course we're going to address the ankles later, but just a little gentle stretch here. You feel it pulling back and down and relaxing all of this while you do that. And then pulling back and then gently pressing the knees down, just gently, and then releasing and down. So these are things you can do, while I'm getting the class started, or at any time of the day. It's just simple exercises to stretch and press this down. When you press the knees down, right, you're lengthening and you're helping to make up for helping to make up for all that squatting up and down that we used to do when we were working and younger and caretaking the children and being much more physical, right? Up and down, up and down. Like how many of you still hang all your laundry outside? Right? In the old days, you hang your laundry outside, right? It's bending over, reaching. Doesn't that look like an exercise? That's calisthenics, right? Warm up, right? Bend over, reach up, right? And then, keep it there, right? You have to hang the clothes and bend over. So just in the simple act of hanging your clothes outside, right? There's a lot going on, right? There's bending, there's lifting, there's back work, there's stretching, there's finger work, there's toe work, right? As we're balancing. Now I hang my clothes, but I put the laundry basket on top of something so I don't have to bend down so much, right? And then I hang the clips around. But as we get older, we tend to, and as we get smarter, right, we tend to simplify movements, make things a little bit more efficient. But at the same time, we have to be careful because as we're simplifying and making our life easier, we're taking away some of those natural exercises. Right? So when you're sitting down, just doing simple stretch like this and down, relaxing in between and pressing the knees down. It really helps to stretch the back of the leg. And taking breaks throughout the day, right, to do these kinds of simple little stretches from there. Okay? So we'll start with this, or we'll add this one right at the beginning. Right? Cross the leg and just to help loosen up the hip a little bit, hand on the side, and then just gently pulling straight across. Right? We just want to wedge this leg open and feel right over here, right in the piriformis. Just stretching a little bit. I'm sitting straight but relaxed. And then releasing and doing the other side. Right? If you can't cross your leg all the way over, just whatever you can do. And just rest the hand and gently pull. And if you're only using one hand, That's a lot of strain to one side of your body. With using two hands supporting each other. And this stretch is interesting because this area is so tight that even one time you'll feel it relax. Okay? And then what everybody knows, right, for the lower back. So you cross, but throw your hand over and then gently turn. Right? This is to brace, and this is for the lower back. The other one is more for the piriformis. And let the body turn, let the head naturally turn and follow the movement. And just gently stretching. And as it relaxes, you can stretch a little bit more. Okay? And the other side. And it's funny, as I train, I realize how many physical things I've stopped training. So even something like this, the Taichi has a single whip, and we don't see this in the Sun style, but the Yang style, the Chen style, the other styles, they have this single whip from here, and it's like plucking something. And the way I learned it is the thumb is down, the next two fingers are straight and they go around, and then the rest of the fingers wrap around. But from here, and I laugh about it to myself because some of these movements I don't do a lot anymore. And then when I show them to somebody, and I start to show them, yeah, you really want to, get that full movement, I get cramps, and I realize, wow, I've neglected my training. But as I'm getting cramps, it's showing me how much muscle work is involved. So this movement, the single whip movement, it's like coming down, right, and plucking the flower, shoulders down, elbows down, and it's just the hand and wrist. So if you do this and stretch the fingers down and you pull this in, you can feel all over here working. So a simple movement like this, like plucking, okay? Like you're plucking or drawing something, and just holding that as much as you can, right? And then releasing and coming down and plucking. To do series of this, you can feel how much work it's doing to the hands. You can do it two sides. Yeah, I did this last Tuesday, and I said, "Oh, I gotta stop. I can feel all of it in here starting to vibrate and spasm." But just working on it a little bit, it starts to release and reminds the muscle to stretch. So there's a lot of muscle movement. When I was younger, I don't appreciate the movement because I was doing so much work that if I did something like this, what is it doing, right? I'm lifting weights, I'm doing all kinds of things. But now that I've reduced so much of my physical training and activity, and I do what I think is a simple move, it shouldn't hurt. It's like, wow. Right? So you see people relax like this, right? They let all the tension go, so there's no strain. And it's nice and relaxed, it's nice and pretty, but you've taken out the stretch and you've taken out the muscle tissue development from here. Yeah? So you can see my fingers, they're not relaxed and rounded like that. The thumb is down, the fingers are straight, and they're pulling. So everything's straight, and I drop my shoulder, drop my elbow, and I create this bend, right? That's stretching all around here. And it's really in here, in this area over here. All over here, you're going to feel it. So just that pulling, like you're plucking something. Oops, there, it just cramped. It cramped right inside here, right inside the joint, because I really went for that big stretch. So I'll use the other hand. Right? So it's down, shoulders are down, and I'm pulling, like plucking, but I'm really stretching the fingers here. Yeah. So cramps, I have to let it go, relax it, right? Move it around, and then softly come back. But it tells me that, wow, this movement is really that important in your physical development. So you're trying to strengthen your hands, strengthen your fingers, right? You wouldn't think a simple movement like this would do this, yeah, like plucking. So everything is down. Don't make it high. Don't have to go way out here, right? It's just like plucking and picking up something. If you want to turn it into a resistance exercise, when teacher used to tell us he would get a plastic bottle. Let me get a plastic bottle like this. You could get a water bottle. He would tell us, like those gallon shoyu bottles with the screw top. I'll just use this as an example. Yeah, this one not screw top, so we didn't use that. But what he would tell us to do is get like a gallon bottle, like a shoyu bottle or the Malolo syrup bottle, and with just the 3 fingers, the thumb and the 2 fingers, he would hold. Or you could use 4 fingers or 5 fingers or two fingers, however you want it, right? And you'd put it on the ground and you'd practice picking it up and down, up and down, up and down, just to strengthen. So you can modify that. So you would start off with a little water, then more water, then more water, and more water as your strength goes. But relax the shoulders just right over here, that plucking movement. And you could hold it for a little bit and then put it down, right, and do it again. Or you could do it 1, 2, put it down 3, right? Or like I said, you could pick it up and just count maybe 6, 8, or 10 count and then put it down. Right? And you can alternate between the hands. Right? So simple ways to add strength building. The water bottle is nice because it's symmetrical. Right? So it'll be a little bit more evenly distributed. Oh no, I have to stretch this hand out. But we take a lot of these movements for granted when we're young because we don't feel the stress because we're doing so much. But as we get older, simple things we think, wow, they really take us out. And it just shows us that it's not, right? We don't get weak and lose ability because we get older. And we're going to slow down a little bit, but we just stop doing things. Right? And that's why we lose those strength abilities and those flexibility abilities. But I always say, you go on YouTube and you look for Chinese seniors exercising, and you see these 80, 90, even 100-year-old seniors doing amazing physical things. And of course, they're exercising. A lot of them are ex-athletes, and they just carried it on. But it shows you, right, how much that they can maintain. Maybe they can't be they don't have the dynamic movement like before, but they've kept their body right in shape, the stretching, the flexibility, the basic strength from there.
So Randy,
yes.
By picking up the water bottle, is that to strengthen your fingers?
Yeah. So fingers and keeping this down. The hand, right? The hand area, the fingertip areas, right? The grip, and by doing this, when you lift and fold, right, you'll feel the tension. So it's pulling on the ligaments and tendons, all in this area, right? So you'll strengthen and build up this whole area over here. And
so that's a good exercise to do daily.
Yeah, you're just picking up. So you just start with a water bottle, and you just want to you do what's comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to take it to how we were taught, because that was the kung fu training, right? That's where we were. He told us just grab the cap from there. So you don't have to be that extreme, right? You can grab a little further down, make it comfortable. We would do, our emphasis because of the kung fu he would tell us, just grab just with the fingertip, just the cap, just the cap like this, yeah. So you could, and then you try and keep it straight, and you're trying to hold, and even this, I can feel it slipping. It's so slippery.
Yeah.
But you can hold it further down.
Okay.
Right? And then I can catch, if I hold it further down, I can catch the ridge, the rim over here, and that helps me to hold it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you wanted, if you really wanted, you could try and practice holding just the fingertip, but this has to be relaxed, right? So don't do it. Oh, it's slipping, and tighten everything up. Yes. But yeah, just picking up these every day. You could do it all 5 fingers, or you could do it, right? Just the 3 fingers, right? Up and down from here, and you have all kind of strength exercises where in and out. And as you get further away, the leverage, right? So, and don't hold it up high because so much stress on the shoulder. Just hold it low, right? Or you could just kind of move it around. You're holding and moving it around. Yeah, but yeah, so simple. Yeah, I know everybody has plastic water bottles at home or something. So don't use glass. Don't use glass. Use plastic. Yeah, remember when they used to say, oh, don't have to go and buy weights, right? Just go and open up your pantry and grab this Campbell soup can. Right? We got so many things around that we can do there. Okay, yeah, good question. Okay, extend the legs. Yeah, so sit nice and straight. Relax. Think of your heart slowing down. Remind yourself to use the ha to breathe in and out. You relax the joints and allow the spine to expand and allow the legs to fall. Relax the shoulders so the arms fall and the fingers can open up. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Relax the face and smile from in between. When we get in the facial cues, when we get serious, a lot of us tense up our face. So as we're meditating, as we're focusing, check to see, are we scrunching up the face? So force yourself just to relax all these muscles, let them fall, and then smile from the chest heart area. Think of the sun in the sky. Think of it sending that nice little ray of energy down through the top of your head, into your chest, powering up and connecting to your own little sun in your chest, warm and cool. And your little sun warms up your whole body or sends energy to wherever you need it. You can direct it, or you can just let it glow and send the energy to where it's needed the most. And just let the body decide. As you relax, take a nice deep breath of air in, using that yawn, the ha. Finish the breath and gently let it out. And then pull the belly button in towards the spine to squeeze out as much air as possible. And take a second deep breath. Let it all out. And a third deep breath in and out. Slowly looking forward. One last check of your body. And as you prepare, turn your arms forward for the first warm-up. Feel your shoulders letting go, your hips letting go. And as you breathe in, lift your hands up. Feel the fingertips reaching, pulling forward, pulling the body forward as you breathe in. And washing your face, body sitting back to center, the palms turning. And exhaling, lifting the sternum. Listen for that full feeling, and then come down. Starting to let everything go in your shoulders. Feel it go all the way to your fingertips. And feel how all the joints have to let go before you transition back to breathing in. And how everything has to let go before you exhale. Listen carefully. You really have to let go of everything before you transition between breathing in and exhaling. As you're coming up, the head is suspended from above, helping to stretch and open up the spine. Let the head fall all the way down to help warm up the neck. As you get used to the movement, slowly timing your movements, everything starts syncing up, leading with the mind first. Think about the movement and let everything follow. Okay. It's moving to number 2, one hand up, one hand down, extending forward, reaching, and then folding, looking at the upper hand, breathing in and turning. Relax the lower arm. Finish the movement. Washing through the forearm. Look at the palm, look at the fingertips first. And then start focusing on just one finger. Could be the index finger or the middle finger. And then finally looking through the fingers at the horizon or the mountaintop or staring out into space. In the whole movement, you can feel your hands slowly moving, turning, or falling. Come back to center, height of throat. Turn the palms forward, lift the sternum. Feel your body get full just as you pass that right angle. And down. Feel the shoulders let go, elbows. Feel the fingertips, let the fingertips get heavy as they fill with the blood. And then slowly pull your shoulder blades in, trying to make them touch. Focusing on the lower inside corner of each shoulder blade. And then roll them up and over. Turning the palms the whole time. Slowly rotating the palms. Breathe naturally. Pull the shoulder blades forward, dragging all the muscle tissues with it. And then forward, turn the palms out. So front to back. And do one more time and then do one side at a time. Make sure you go all the way down. Relax and then one side. The other side is relaxed, but the palm is still open. The fingers are still extended. And check that your feet are still flat on the floor. You can feel them reaching so that they touch the floor as your body turns. Yeah, feel what's going on under the shoulder blade, and then come forward. Pull that point forward, lower inside corner of the shoulder blade. Feel the fingertips being pulled, stretched. All the way down. Finish the move, relax, and then do the other side. Feel from the fingertips to just the bottom of the forearm, constantly touching the body, because that's an indicator that the arms are hanging straight down. Look forward. All the way down. And then two sides, back to front, and then front to back. Squeeze. And turn the palms and come forward. Connecting all the movements. All the way down. And then slowly relaxing. Right, checking your body posture, and then loose circles. Right, just shake those muscles out, shake the joints out. And slow it down. Okay, and then put it back together. Breathing in and out. Fingertips just about the height of the head. You can feel the forms winding around the elbows. And breathe in and gather. The body fills up with air, and then letting it go. And every time you relax, as you let it go, when you breathe in, try to keep your body relaxed, even though you're inhaling. One last time. And slowly feel yourself letting go of all the joints. And feel the palms getting heavy, heavy, heavy as the blood flows and sinks into the hand. And imagine the legs falling into the earth. Moving to the spine, hold the ball first. Right, fold the elbows. Keep them right in the center. Palms right in the center, and then separate. Relax the wrist so the palm lines up with the forearms. And slowly separate, stretching. Connect the shoulder blades to each other. And feel that stretch going from fingertip through the shoulders, through the scapula, through the spine, pulling the spine. Breathe in and expand and relax. Exhale. The fingertips pulling as they wash through the forearm. The bottom hand falling. Still connecting the shoulder blades. Stretching the shoulder blades away from each other. The wrist palms are relaxed. The fingertips pulling. Legs falling into the earth. Feel and imagine the spine and the ribcage opening and the hips opening. Deep breath, expand and relax. Try to pass right in front of the heart to remind yourself about that heart energy, that sun connection. Breathing in. Finish the move. Feel how everything has to let go, and then you can exhale. Breathing in. Finish the stretch, and then everything has to let go, and then you can exhale. Then you can transition. Everything has to let go, and then you can transition to breathing in. Release the hip. Release every vertebrae from the tailbone all the way up through the neck. Turn the palm. Drop the elbow. Pull the spine and wash the outside of the forearm. Lift, fall by the belly button, right in the center, and then release. Let the palms wind and let the head turn. Breathe in and exhale. Still listening for that transition of letting all the joints go before you inhale and exhale. Pull the spine and breathe in. Look over the elbow and then exhale, let go. Pull the spine, breathe in. And then pull the spine and look over the elbow. Pull the spine as you spiral up. Pull the spine, look over the elbow. Learn to just release one time and let the body spring back to center. Nice big wind up. Let go. Right, so there's that subtle little practice of just letting everything go. And letting the body just drop. Last time. Breathe in. Come back to center. Right in front of the heart. Right, think of that sun's sending energy down through the top of your head, right, to your sun. Turn the palms up and down, left or right, and turn towards the upper elbow. Slowly breathing in, slowly winding and pulling on the spine. Let the head turn and release. It can be a slow, smooth, relax, release, or just So you want to practice both. That controlled release and then that sudden release. Both of them, you're practicing letting go of all that tension in your body. Last time. A little lower solar plex, sternum up. Breathing deep into the lower belly, deep into the lower dantian. Lift the sternum out. Drop the shoulders, elbows, forearms, wrist, palms. And feel your hands getting heavy, heavy, heavy. Press one leg into the earth, sink into the hip joint, and then you can pick the leg up and transfer. Press this leg down, feel this muscle activate, and then sink into the hip joint. Sink into the hip joint, and we'll release the knee and down. Press both feet heavy into the earth, and then release. Just rest the legs on the ground. No intent with the legs, and just the palms practicing pulling. Imagine pulling, drawing that energy up from the earth. Breathing in and then release, and gently guiding it straight back down into the earth. All the way down. Top of the hand being pulled. There's a suction cup on the top of the hand, drawing the hand up. And top of the hand being pushed down, directed down. And the bottom of the hand being pushed up. And the bottom of the hand being pulled down. And let everything go. Relax all the joints. And then reset. Press both feet into the earth. Heavy. Pressing, pressing, pressing. And then press one side and sink into the hip joint. And as you feel the heel release, begin breathing in, stepping out, down. Press that foot into the earth, then the leg, and then the hip joint. Back foot leg releases and down. In and switch. Press that leg heavy into the earth and sink into the hip joint. And take your time studying sinking into the hip joint so you can feel the heel release. And feel that little transition of energy. Slowly picking up the knee as high as you can. The more you sink and keep thinking of the hip joint, the pelvic joint, the easier it will be. The less you use your upper body, the less you use your shoulder. Just using the palms to assist the leg. The foot on the ground, nice and flat and heavy, but thinking of the hip pelvic joint. Using the hands to help guide the legs. Picking up one leg and sinking the other leg. Feel the shoulder joints release for the transition. All the joints have to release for that transition. As high as you can, just the knee. You can feel the palms activated, helping the leg in and out, pressing and releasing. Last one. Stepping out, pressing, and then come back to center. Hold the ball, bring it down to the lower dantian, just below the belly button. Drop one knee and pull the spine, turn the palms, and pull the fingertips out while breathing in and drop the other knee while you pull the spine in the other direction. The palms swing to the side. Let the body turn. Let the body turn to help open up the hip pelvic, the pelvic joint. Remember, you can take a step. You can swivel the leg or take a step in the chair to open up the hip a little bit more. You're opening up the hip, but you can feel that twist on the lower back, on the spine. Remember, whatever is comfortable with your leg. And you can do this full stretch, or just drop your knee, or just turn and swivel the foot anywhere in between. You have to find your comfort, your safe comfort point, right? Which movement is safe, which movement is comfortable. Come back to center when you're done. Lower dantian. You start with the fists first, loose fists. Remember to let this part of your arm rub against the rib cage as you're coming up. Not real hard, but just that nice scrape, just gently pressing in to stimulate that part of your rib cage, two sides, and stimulating over here. Okay, opposite hand, opposite leg, heel first. So picking up, so press one leg in, left or right, and then sink into the hip joint. And when you feel the heel lifting up, right, then the hand can come up. And keep your mind right in that hip joint. Heel first, and then press the knee down gently, and then use the hand to wind up the leg, bring it back, and tuck the elbow in so it rubs against the rib cage, and transition. Press the knee, and then push the knee down, press the heel and then the knee down, and then wind up that hand. Help it to guide. And then open the palms and feel the difference with the fist and the open palm. Heel, knee, and then pump. And then wind up. Tuck the elbows, it rubs, so the forearm rubs against the rib cage, and transition. You want the head nicely suspended. And then add the pull of the spine, the turn. Pull the spine so your body turns, winding up and coming back. And feel how the hand helps the leg to pick up, sending it out. Just keeping it suspended, picking it up, holding it, and gently guiding it down. Do one more time each side. And all the movements, heel, knee, foot, and spine. And winding and guiding and switching. And as you come back, be aware of that arm rubbing against the rib cage. Pick up the ball, pick up one leg, right? You have to press the other leg into the earth and live right in that hip joint and flex the ankle. Just keep your mind right inside here. Makes everything easier. The hands are just holding that soap bubble. And switch when you're ready. Transition, press, sink into the hip joint, and then 45. Try to keep this foot, the bottom of the foot, relaxed and fully connected with the earth. You can feel it just pressing and sinking into the earth. Relax the shoulders. And then switching when you're ready. Small toe, big toe. The more you can press this leg and then sink right into that hip joint. When you pick up the other leg, you feel it bounce up a little bit. So just release. Switch when you're ready. And try to do at least 3. But always remember you can do as many as you need to. And if you need to take a break, you take a break. And then you can come back to it. When you do it on your own, you don't have to do them in order. You could just do one warm-up for that part of your body that you need. Okay, pull the heels up. Relax the bottom of the foot and stretch the bottom of the feet as you pull the heels up. So the toes, just the big toes, are touching the ground. Right? This is similar to doing this from here. This is kind of like this, that plucking. Right? You're pulling it up so all of that tissue can stretch on the bottom of your feet, and then shake it out. And then pulling it up. So as you do this, you think of the ballerinas, right? And the gymnasts, as they draw and they stand on that foot, you can imagine all that muscle action that's going on, how strong their feet really are, right? And they do it all the time. They probably don't think so much that they're building it, yet they're just trying to balance and develop it so they can do it. But every time they do it, right, how much muscle action is going on. Okay, and then of course for them, right, they can't just stretch it completely on tippy toe, right? They actually they have to have the shoes that have that flat surface. And inside they're trying to be on the tippy toe, but it has to sink down a little bit because of what they're trying to achieve. But it's the same thing, right? That arch, that pulling. But you see the ballerinas, right? They arch the foot because it's a job for them, or it's a working, right? They're trying to force that form. right? They can't afford just to stretch, fully stretch and keep it straight and hold that, because the kind of movement and the dance they're doing, right? They need a little bit more strength and stability in there. Okay, but you can see how that sort of, right, is the matching for this movement, stretching and activating all these muscles from here. Okay, so loosen everything up before we run through our set. And if you need to stand up and walk around, stand up and walk around. Yeah. And move around in the chair. Want to feel those hips moving. Yeah. And especially when we do these long distance, kind of classes, online classes. And I'm not, right? The teacher instructors aren't there to really watch you and pick something out and help you and take that time. So you really have to listen to yourself, and don't be afraid to do what you need to do to be comfortable and safe. Okay, so remember, letting go, breathing. The first thing we do is we have to feel that air in and use the ha, and then let it go. Then we can gather, right? So that first move is like flushing, right? You put in some water, you shake it up, and you have to flush everything out. And if you feel like, oh, it's still a little dirty, then you have to do it again and again and again until it's all clean. So we have to, right? It's like washing our body and then flushing. That first thing we do, ha, right? And then we can put our mind way up in the universe and pour that chi down through our body. So one of the main things that we're doing in the Taichi is we're flowing chi through the whole body, right? From up above, from the earth, right? Gathering in and then flushing, ha. Every time we exhale, ha, right? We expel, and then we fill it all up with clean energy again. And there's also that continuous flow, that continuous movement of chi. It's like a river, constantly flowing. Okay? So the inhale and the exhales are, right, we want the chi to flow, but the inhale and exhale acts like a pump. So in between, okay, but it's still flowing, never stops. We just want everything open. And we want to, you go and look for a picture of Medical Qigong and all the different channels and all the different systems. And you imagine while we're doing the Tai Chi, and that even includes the warm-up. Right? The warm-ups just tend to overemphasize one part of our body. And every movement overemphasizes one part of our body. So as we do the complete form, you imagine all that energy flushing through all those different systems you find in the Medical Qigong, and all the healing going on, allowing the body to self-heal, to self-correct. So you take your time. Right? The more relaxed you are, the more you let go, the more you can efficiently flush every part of your body. And so that's our goal. It doesn't matter how long you've been training, how little, how long, right? If we don't do it, it doesn't happen. But if we do it, then we set things in motion. So in my body, right, I'm fighting through something over here. It's on full display. So, oh, and that's another thing. When you get sick, you have to know when to rest. So even as I do these movements, as I said, oh, we'll see how I am at the end of the hour. But as you do these movements, if I take too big a movement, oh, I'm just going to start coughing. and I'm going to make it worse. And there's certain times in the week where I realize I can't practice. Sleep is more important. Rest is more important. Okay? So, and it helped me for a while, but my balance went off balance. And I have to recognize that too. Okay, yeah, just kind of wiggle and then reset, and slowly reset, relax, and slowly straighten out your body, your spine, feeling, listening to your body. Let the legs fall into the earth. Feel the whole bottom of your feet touching the earth from the heel to the toe. And as you do this, relax the hip and all the joints. At the same time, the upper body is expanding upwards, light. You can feel the head pulling back so it aligns the neck, straightens out the neck, and allow the chin to fall. And remind yourself about that breath using the yawn. Every time we reset the body and fix something, we tend to tense up our breathing. So we constantly need to check that our breath is relaxed. When you're ready, take that nice breath in, let it go, and then gather. We just do one gathering. But remember, on your own, you do as many as you need to start. Use the fingertips to direct the chi down. Drop the shoulders, elbows, then the palms lightly. Move that energy through the body. Imagine top of the head and bottom of the feet all open. Right by the tailbone, perineum, all open. Imagine the sun sending that ray of energy down to the sun in your heart, in your chest. Relax the face muscles and feel that smile come out of your chest area as you let everything go. And when you're ready, start gathering up the chi in the palm. And commencement begins on the inhale when you're ready at your own pace. You try to breathe in and out, but if you need to take that extra breath, just breathe. Let everything go, and then number 2, rolling. Eyes looking far away. Feel the wrist rubbing against the rib cage. Drop the shoulders. Expand and contract. Right side. Pull the spine. Pull the hands out. Release. Ha. Feel the palms wiping in front of you. Look at the left hand. Keep on turning from single whip to one saw. Pull the spine till your body is 45 and then release gently or suddenly. Palms and fingertips are nice and stretched. Fingertips are being pulled outwards. Then to look at the fingertips and then one finger and then way out at the mountaintop or the horizon or staring out into space. Imagine you sitting in space, floating and just looking at the stars. Bring the hands back to center and flow right into an open and close. Feel the spine and it still wants to turn left and right. Then left side, pull the spine, pull the hands out and release. Palms flat to the front, looking at the right hand. Single whip flows into one saw. Pull the spine and release. following the upper palm. As you release in the transition, let all the joints go. Right here, let the joints go. Palm is nice and big and stretched. Fingertips are stretched. Legs are sinking into the earth. Come back to center. Hold the ball. Let the body continue to turn left and right. Feel the spine and the waist turning left and right. Brushing the knee, right side. Pull the spine and pull the fingertips up. Breathing in. Pull the fingertips forward. And lift the sternum. Drop the right hand. Pull the spine to the left. Roll the hands to center. And as you release, transition to Hu-Pipa. Pull the spine. Pull the left fingertips up. And release. Let the right palm shoot under the left elbow. Pull the spine. And then release. Parry right. And then parry left using the shooting palms for seated. Breathe in. Exhale and cover. And pull the spine until the hands are outside of the knees. Breathe in and start to grab. And exhale. Squeeze the fist. Pull the spine so the body turns while the fist rises. And release. Rolling back. Let the body oscillate back and forth. Gather and exhale. Come back to center. Come back to center. Okay, close right here. Okay, bring the feet in. Before we close, I wanted to go over the where is it, that from the brush knee. So yeah. So if you're I'm sorry. I had a couple of chat things I should take a look. Okay. All right. Right, so the brush. So we did the right side, so I'll demonstrate the left side. So from the brush knee, right, we're starting with the open and close. Right, when we turn, right, that's the brush knee movement. Right, so real quickly, right, you want to imagine the fingertips being pulled up and the spine pulling. And before I finish the movement, before I come completely 45, right, this hand has a little spiral motion. And you don't see it because the body is turning. But if the body didn't turn, the hand would move a little bit. And that allows the palm to face completely to the side. So as I'm finishing the movement, I imagine something pulling my fingertips down and forward. Right? So it's pulling up. And before I actually finish the turn, it starts dropping from here. So as I start relaxing, finishing the turn, the hand drops. This hand stays the height of the heart, which will cradle the elbow. And then as I release, the fingertip comes forward. You feel like the fingertip pulling forward, and the wrist drops, right? And then the sternum lifts, and the lower hand just sweeps to the side. So let this hand drop to the side. And so from the side, it's coming up, and then it's starting to turn. Right? As I finish, it's already starting to turn. And as I release, I'm a little bit more relaxed. And the heel drops. This hand continues to fall. And I lift my sternum. Ah. And I can feel my shoulders have to release. Okay? And then the hands round towards the center. So from straight forward, right? I finish the brush knee here, and then this hand drops to the center, and this hand rounds up. So they meet at the center. So the bottom hand, again, it's going to match the inside of the elbow. And this hand isn't straight, right? It's a little bit rounded. So they're coming together. So from the front, lift, and then they come to the center. It's as if I'm supporting a stick, right, straight here. Okay? And with that is the turn of the body. So I lift the sternum, drop, and then I keep on turning my waist 45. And as I turn my waist 45, there's that roll. And this is a transition. Okay? So between brush knee and hu pipa is the other side, holding the pipa. So I finish the brush knee, and then my body keeps on turning while the hands roll. I wind up, pull my spine, and as I release, the hands pass each other, and then hu pipa. So brush knee, this hand falls, the shoulders start falling. I keep on turning. I'm holding that stick, and then I transition to hu pipa. So here, right? It's going to wash through. This hand is going to rise. Fingertips are about the height of the shoulder. And same thing, you want to feel the palm, right, washing through the forearm, supporting from here. So brush knee, lift, transition, relax, breathe in and let go. Fingertips stretching. Right? This hand is being pulled, fingertips pulling, this hand washing down. And then from here, it cradles. So from kupipa, right, I pull my spine, and as I release, this hand shoots under the elbow. From here, this hand shoots under the elbow. Right? And then I cradle the ball. So turning, and the palms washing through the forearm, one way, and then the other way. Okay, now from here, and I'm going to pull the spine, and as I release, this hand flips over and covers. So pull the spine, and then as I release, it flips over and covers. And as my body squares to the center, my hands will make an X, right? Wrist on wrist. That's kind of the timing you're looking for. But I want to end up like this, right? For this hand is straight across in line with the body, and this hand is right over, so perpendicular, and outside of my knee. The wrist is just outside of the knee. So from the front, this hand is pointing straight to the center. This hand is coming straight across, but the body has to turn 45 for that to happen. Okay? So if I have wrist on wrist and I come to the center, right, it's an X. If I have wrist on wrist and I come to the side, it's a plus sign from the front. Okay. I come here, come out, right? I release. It starts to cover. As I pass right in the middle, my hands are making a cross, and then I keep on turning. I pull my spine, right? And then it's a plus sign just outside. So from the front, my elbow is right in the center, but my body is turned. As I breathe in, I start to grab, loose fist, and as I exhale, my body springs back, and I start to squeeze my fist as I exhale. If I come to the center, again, same thing. I'm just kind of cutting through this X right in the middle. I want to turn so this punch rises up to about the height of the throat. The hand ends up lightly against the body from here, and that comes about from the turn. And lightly touching the hand, lightly rubbing and stimulating right over there. Okay? So you come out, right? It covers, pull. I exhale, I start squeezing, and then I have to turn some more to get that full extension and the hand touching the body. And then when I release, I come back to the X, right in the center, and then I roll back. Compress, right, like gathering, compression, and then lift the sternum, and then release. Now, as you're pulling the body and releasing, right, and then pulling the body, releasing, pulling the body, releasing, constantly doing that. So when you stop and you do the straightforward, you don't stop the spine, right? The spine is still kind of bouncing around back and forth. So, right, come here, pull, and then I release and I roll back and then I pull a little bit. But now it's becoming a little bit more centered. Right here, you just feel the body going back and forth, right? And it's slowly going to get smaller and smaller. But just let the spine and let the hips move, right? As you're rolling back, catching and lifting. Right? And then right at the end, it starts to slow down. And as you do the open and close, it might stop or it might still move a little bit. Okay? And you can even encourage it to move back and forth a little bit, just thinking like, oh, I want it to oscillate back and forth. Especially coming out, I want it to oscillate back and forth. Right? As it's oscillating back and forth, one hand will come forward. Right? So instead of two hands evenly, always at that same plane, the same time, it could be back and forth from there. Okay, so there's a lot of movement in that area. Right? So again, the brush knee, the fingers are pulling up, right? And then the fingers start falling forward, and you release, lift the sternum, drop the lower hand, turn the body 45, right? Like you're holding the stick, and then release, and pull the other fingers up, right? Now hupipa, pull, release, and then release, and then pull the spine, and release the shooting palm, and pull the spine, and then cover, right? In the center is the X, so you pull a little bit more until it's outside of the knee, making the cross. Breathe in, start to grab, exhale, squeeze the fist, pull the spine a little bit more, and then release, and then rolling back. and lift, and let the body oscillate. Let the spine finish its turn. Let it stop by itself, or you can enhance it from there. Okay, and then just so you understand, when we in the chair, although I do the shooting palm, right, the side to side, in the standing form, the hands are straight out this way, right? They're turning and rising this way. But the pull of the spine is still the same. The action is still the same, right? So from the front view, the hand would be rising straight up, turning and twisting, and really a tight turn, turning and twisting, still washing through the arm from there, right? So it's like doing this one, right? It's like doing this one, and they're washing and they're turning. It's just that it's coming forward and stretching. Okay, so just a little breakdown of that movement. All right, we'll finish with the bell, and then we'll do a short second hour for those of you who want to stick around. Okay, come back out, reset. Just take your time visualizing, feeling, relaxing. Rest your hands on your lap. Okay, remember, we meditate to clear our mind. So any distractions, acknowledge them, and then bring yourself back to the bells and your breathing. It's about breathing and letting go. Okay, so slowly open your eyes, rub your hands together inside your fingers. Yeah, get a lot of movement in your hands. Yeah, and stretch your palms, stretch. Yeah, and relax and squeeze and stretch. Yeah, and relax and squeeze and stretch. And relax and squeeze and shake them out. Okay, warm up the eyes. Slowly comb with just your fingertips, front to back, center to outside. Yes, so you practice moving your spine back and forth, pulling and letting go. Right? You listen to that and see if your spine wants to move, your hips, your waist want to move, and rotate to the back of the neck, tapping. And then gently pulling with the fingertips, pull the muscle tissue away from the bone, from the cervical. Move your head back and forth and up and down to help loosen up that muscle. Work all the way from the top, all the way down the neck. Unroll the ears up. Then just work your way down. Okay, come and sit down. Yeah, especially if you do this one, if you're practicing this one, do that stretch and close and stretch and close and shake them out as many times as you need. Yeah, grab just the fingertips. Right, just hook your shoulder and drop your arm and just the fingertips pressing. And then the other hand open and thumb goes on the cuticle of the fourth finger. Right, and just drop that hand down and breathe. And just think of letting go through that arm. Yeah, think of all the tension running down and letting go through whatever hand is on the bottom. And then do the other side when you're ready. Same thing, just the fingertips hooking, drop the shoulder and elbow, and thumb on the cuticle of the ring finger. And just let that arm go. Just imagine all that stress flowing out from the shoulder, through the arms, and out through the palm, out through the lower hand. Okay, relax the legs. Oh, let's not forget this one. Yeah, arms. Loose wrist. Loose slapping. Kidneys and legs. Outside, back, outside, top and inside. Hey, come up one more time. Nice, gentle stretch. Feel your body opening. Bringing everything back down. Using the fingertips to help guide the chi down through the body. Let everything go. Breathe in and so practice at letting go. Yeah, in chair, just let everything go. Yeah, even if it's like that, practice letting it go so you get used to dropping, right? And then later on, upright, you feel everything dropping straight down. Okay, right hand, left hand. Yeah. All right, so I'll come back. We'll do something for the second half. I'm kind of thinking either do the fall prevention practice again, or we can break apart a movement. Maybe looking at that same section, but standing. Right? Or if somebody has a request, we can do whatever you want to do with the second half. If you have a request, it could be a meditation or any of the moves. We can break apart any of the moves in the warm up or in the set. Yeah. So think about it if you have a request. Okay. Let's take a short break. Yeah.